That's him using the EWI, which is an electronic wind instrument. And you know, if there's anybody in the tri-state that's using one, I don't know who it is. Of course, Monte's the man. Can you kind of describe that instrument and talk about it just for a few minutes?
Sure. This is just like you said, it's called an EWI, electronic wind instrument. It's made by a company called Akai. The way I discovered it is from a YouTube video, believe it or not, from Michael Brecker, who is one of the guys that I've studied and wish I could be like at some point in my life when I'm
You'll get there, Monte. You'll get there.
By the time I'm 97, maybe. I saw this YouTube video of him playing, and I was just completely and totally blown away, and I said, I want to play that. And so I looked online and found it, and I got it. Didn't know what to expect. Didn't know how it was gonna play or anything, and fell in love with it. It was really difficult at first, and there's a lot of different styles of EWIs. There's Yamaha actually makes one.
Right.
A lot of people have the WX5, which is a type of EWI as well. But this one just really suits me and what I like to do. The buttons are touch sensitive, so it makes it so that you can play really, really quickly once you learn how to control it. And the EWI is actually used in a lot of different popular things like movies.
Sure.
It's used in movies like Finding Nemo and, believe it or not, CSI and things like that. They hook it up to different types of computers and are able to run it through a lot of different types of effects and things like that.
And you know, obviously, you know, you just played a great jazz cut there, and people got the idea of the instrumentation of it. But you can also make some sound effects with it, can't you?
Most definitely. Can I play a little bit of it?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a bunch of different things you can do. Like there's a good wah effect sound that I can do. A lot of times you'll hear me at different Deerhead gigs. Maybe I'll play. I might play something like that, or it has some pretty cool sweeping effect. And you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. One of the tunes that we play at Deerhead is Frankenstein, the old Edgar Winter song. And so I was going through the cycles that the EWI does, and I found this sound, and I think I thought it sounded like the old thing that Edgar Winter used to use, the guitar thing. And so I decided to use that, and that's kind of how we started doing Frankenstein. I was like, oh, this is perfect for that situation.
I know that's one of the things I always like about Skelton's Montourage is that besides the classic jazz or even the funk stuff, I mean, you know, you pull out. I remember the first time you pulled Frankenstein out, I was blown away. It was really
good. we all love playing that tune. It just lends itself to what we do. We actually do a version that's kind of taken from the Edgar Winter version and the Marcus Miller version.
Right.
Marcus Miller has a version as well that he does, and so we kind of combined the two and made our own little mix of it.
That's excellent, and I know that some of the folks out there who are listening today here in the Jazz Cafe on 91.5 WUEV would also like to know that we are videotaping this, and it will be on evansvillenights.com here in a few couple days. And so what you like listening to today, if you'd like to see the video online, tune in to evansvillenights.com, which is not only a great place for all things in entertainment, but also keeps you up on what's going on during specials and where you need to be when you're out in the town here in Evansville. Well, me being kind of an ex-railroader, you can also do a train?
I'm sorry?
Can you do a train with that?
I could try.
Okay, well, go ahead and try. I put him on the spot, ladies and gentlemen.
There is a sound. I don't remember what number it is though. It's like a Michael Brecker sound. Is there possible like I can like hear it?
Okay.
So I could probably do something like.
It's an Amtrak, ladies. It's an Amtrak, ladies and gentlemen. Well, on Sunday, February 27th, I'm going to kind of read this so everybody knows where we're going here.
Okay.
At Wheeler Concert Hall here on the campus of the University of Evansville, the Jazz Guest Artist Series will open its 2011 season. The first offering is the Monte Skelton Quartet. Performing with Monte will be John Arnn, which is a highly respected jazz pianist from Nashville, Tennessee. Also featured will be Tyrone Wheeler on bass and Jonathan Higgins on drums. both Tyrone and Jonathan have been in Evansville before with different musicians in the Jazz Guest Artist Series, but if you're in the Louisville area, or if anybody comes out of the Louisville area, you can see them. You usually get to see them performing with the likes of Jamie Ebersol or Dick Sisto. And we're doing this performance in this interview today, not only to obviously spotlight Monte and everything that he's involved in, but also as a segue to the Jazz Guest Artist Series. I guess you're going to be in some great musical company on Sunday, correct?
Oh, most definitely. Words cannot describe how much I've been looking forward to this concert, and it almost the date almost caught me off guard last week because I've been waiting for so long. I looked at my calendar now and I was just kind of like, oh, it's time already. I better start
It's
practicing.
coming very quickly, yeah.
But yeah, just the opportunity to play with Jonathan Higgins and the rest of them is just I don't know what to say, but thank you to Dr. Lacey and the Jazz Society for making it possible for me to do an event like this. It really is incredible.
That's very true. Of course, Dr. Ed Lacey is the founding father and kind of the spirit of the Evansville Jazz Society, along with the present president, Mr. Jim Zell, and they've been partnered for several years with the musical department here at the University of Evansville, and really brought, not only for the jazz fan, but for people who are just maybe falling into jazz quite by accident, some tremendous talent.
Most definitely, and I've been very fortunate to be a part of the making of a lot of the promos and a lot of the interviews in the past here at WUEV, and it was just amazing to be able to sit down with the musicians that have been in Evansville because of this, and just kind of pick their brains and about what they do and how they do it. And it's for Evansville to have an opportunity like this and to be able to bring in people like this is great. It's outstanding.
And it's also good, I think, because then these musicians come in, and I mean, I know most of them, or a lot of them, have a long-standing relationship with Dr. Lacey and some of the jazz musicians that are here in Evansville, but then they get to come in and see that, they may not know where Evansville's at until they leave and they realize, what passionate jazz fans there are here in this town.
That's very true, and to see that once you come out to these performances, you'll see how many people actually attend. It's not just students; it's people from all over the community that come out and hear these. And Paul, I'm sure you can agree that every single one that you go to and come out of, you just kind of think, I can't miss one. They're all kind of like, you don't want to miss this. If you're not here, you need to be here right now and catch what talent goes through here. It's incredible.
That's right. People plan their weeks on it. Well, speaking of this particular concert that we're going to witness, obviously Mr. Arn, Mr. Wheeler, and Mr. Higgins are in the studio, although that would be very sweet. Why don't you go ahead and play something and give the audience an idea of what we're going to